Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, there lived a young, curious puppy named Rosco. With his big, floppy ears, wagging tail, and the most curious eyes, Rosco loved playing with his family. But there was one thing he loved even more: parks. One sunny morning, while his mom was busy, Rosco noticed the gate was slightly open. His heart pounded with excitement. "I bet there's a park just around the corner," he thought. Without a second woof, Rosco squeezed through the gate and started his adventure. Rosco trotted down the street, his nose twitching with the scent of trees and flowers. As he continued on his way, something felt different. The air seemed fresher, and the colors around him seemed brighter. He soon found himself in a big, beautiful place called Deer Park, Texas. From the moment he crossed the city limits, Rosco could tell that this place was special. The grass was greener, the flowers bloomed more vibrantly, and the people he passed by seemed friendlier, always eager to lend a helping hand or share a warm smile. Rosco knew he had found a place full of kindness and beauty, a place where his adventure could truly begin. His first stop was the Deer Park Nature Preserve, and as soon as Rosco stepped inside, he felt like he was in another world. The preserve was truly a wonder, a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of the city streets. Here, Rosco could see the world for what it really is: calm, beautiful, and full of life. He watched in awe as a graceful blue heron soared overhead and couldn't resist chasing an armadillo, even though it didn't want to be his friend. In that moment, Rosco felt connected to the natural beauty around him, and his heart swelled with joy. Next, Rosco jumped on the hike and bike trails and found parks with swings and slides. He chased the shadows of the swings and made friends with a squirrel who shared some acorns with him. But as the sun began to set, Rosco realized he was far from home and didn't know how to get back. He whimpered softly, feeling very scared and alone. Rosco visited Ella and Friends Dog Park and made new dog friends. He then found himself at the Jimmy Burke Activity Center, where a festival was in full swing. He enjoyed the music before heading to the Art Park Players Theater, where an actor taught him some tricks. Rosco even performed on stage. Feeling sleepy, Rosco found a cozy spot at Patrick's Cabin in Heritage Park and took a nap. Afterward, he visited the Maxwell Adult Center, where seniors petted him and shared stories of their own pets. Rosco felt so loved. Rosco continued his adventure, visiting more parks and meeting friendly people. He chased RC cars at the RC Rock Crawler course, tried to catch frisbees at Bayou Bend Park, and learned about disc golf. Rosco then visited the Deer Park Library, where a kind librarian showed him a book with colorful pictures about the Battle of San Jacinto. Rosco tried his best to read along, his nose twitching with curiosity. Rosco left the library and saw a police car. The chief of police let him sit inside, and Rosco pretended to be a police dog. His tail wagged furiously as he barked happily. Rosco visited City Hall, where the mayor and council members gave him treats and welcomed him warmly. He felt so special. He thought to himself, it might be fun to be mayor one day. Rosco left City Hall knowing he had to find Dow Park. The other park visitors had been talking all day about the large, shady areas, walking trail, pool, and baseball fields. He'd even heard there were tennis balls to chase. As Rosco strolled by the Dow Active Complex, he was mesmerized by the park's beauty. He heard someone call it Lone Star Legacy Park and thought it should be renamed Heaven. Rosco stopped to drink water at the dog fountain and heard footsteps behind him. It was the Deer Park Animal Shelter staff who gently picked him up and took him to the animal shelter. The Deer Park Parks and Recreation Department heard about Rosco's adventure. They visited the shelter, fell in love with Rosco, and made him their mascot. From that day on, Rosco became known as Rosco the Rec Dog. He had a shiny new collar, special clothes, and a loving family. He spent his days exploring the parks, greeting visitors, and bringing smiles to everyone he met. And so, Rosco the Rec Dog lived happily ever after, bringing joy and adventure to Deer Park and all its visitors.